Hi, and welcome back to Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman. My name is Chris LaRose. This here is Douglas Maidenford, our resident Pennsylvania Dutchman. What do you say, Doug?
I am ready to go.
All spot ready. Well, Douglas, we got a question that came pretty far today.
Pretty far?
Yeah. So, this question comes in from Markus Bensch from Dresden, Deutschland.
Dresden, Germany.
Dresden,
Okay.
Germany. So, I'm going to have to translate this one.
Did he write the question in German?
This is auf Deutsch.
Alright, so you're going to hear Chris's amazing German skills. We do have a lot of viewers.
It's a little rusty
We do
now.
have a lot of German viewers, so you'll read the question in German and then we'll translate in English for all our
If I can
English
still
speakers.
remember it,
I'll help you.
My brain's all scrambled from all...
I'll help you.
Alright, well.
Take it away.
Ich habe schon seit langem die Frage, warum die Deutsch damals in den Vereinigten Staaten nie eine offizielle Amtssprache geworden. Vielleicht magst du daraus mal ein eigenes Video, würde mich freuen. Mach's weiter so. Mit freundlich Grüßen, Markus Bensch. So the question is,
for a long time I've had the question why German was never made an official language in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can make a video about that. It would make me happy.
Well, now you beat me to it.
I am a little fast.
What am I gonna add to this now?
Keep up the work. Keep up the good work, Markus.
How am I ever gonna keep up with this guy?
I can't go into the full history as to why German was never made an official language. I mean, the main reason really would be that, yes, there were a lot of people in Pennsylvania in that time period when America became, America in the late 1700s that spoke German, spoke Pennsylvania Dutch, but the government had already been created, and it was all created by English speakers. Now, there were people involved in the early years of our country that were bilingual. We had people that spoke Pennsylvania Dutch and English. The first speaker of the Haas was Muhlenberg, and Muhlenberg grew up among the Pennsylvania Dutch people. And then, we had people like Conrad Weiser that helped create, our new country. He was a Pennsylvania Dutchman. And heck, we had other people that did a lot too. And, I don't know what else to say. English was always the main language, so to speak. But there were dual language things. I mean, there's, Pennsylvania for the longest time had German language newspapers. Business was done in the language. It wasn't just all English. So, yeah, it's crazy that it never got more steam. But then you could say that about a lot of the other immigrant languages that came to the New World, too. If any language should have been made official, it should have been one of the Native American languages should have been included, right? But, well, they don't get to write the history, sadly. So, that's kind of, I'll just say that as an official. But maybe you didn't know this, when the Declaration of Independence was signed,
first done in German.
The publication of it actually came out. The German language publication was out before the English mass-produced publication. Because Philadelphia had a large German printing center. There were a lot of German printers there. And, they printed a copy. They translated the Declaration into German for the German-speaking people of Pennsylvania and published it and got it out in broad form. Broad form, broadleaf form or whatever that was called. So, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's kind of sad. I think it totally would have changed history if there would be more than one language. Some countries like Canada's 2 languages.
Well, I think it would have been a bigger deal or stuck around a lot longer if it weren't for a lot of the things that happened, throughout history, like, World War II kind of made
World War I
made it. My dad used to tell me all the time he grew up speaking Pennsylvania Dutch, didn't speak English till he was about 5. When he went to school, they actually hit you.
Yeah, my grandparents as well. They beat the language out of a couple generations of us.
And I think a lot of it probably has to do with economics.
Sure.
People wanted to find a language that...
There was no economic benefit
to
just speaking Pennsylvania Dutch or speaking German or something like that.
And it got viewed as a farmer's language.
For the Pennsylvania Dutch, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think it's probably economic.
It's a lot of things why it never actually became official. But there have been instances in government where we've had, I know in Pennsylvania, more than once in our history, there were representatives in our state level government in Harrisburg, who got up and gave speeches on the House floor in Pennsylvania Dutch.
Oh, wouldn't that
it's
be
happened.
something to see, huh?
Yeah, it would be cool to see. I don't think it ever happened in Washington D.C. Officially on the record, but in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, that has happened. Yeah. And we have an official day, June 20. I think it's the 28th. Off the top of my head, is Pennsylvania Dutch Day in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It was made a citation was made in the 1970s to honor our contribution to the history and culture of the United States and of Pennsylvania. But yeah, and it's never, we're to a point now where it'll never, English will always be the language of government, of economics, of business,
Well, it's a trade language across the world.
Across the world, yeah.
And I think that happens because of technology, too.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this isn't a funny topic, but it's an interesting topic nonetheless.
Because it was close.
I mean, you would say that there were a lot of people that spoke the language at one point. A lot of people. And people that were influential as well, right?
Wasn't there some statistic that was talking about like 90% of Pennsylvanians have German heritage at some point?
I've heard the number is high. German as an ethnicity among Americans is the highest ethnic group in the country. I don't remember the percentage either, but it's the largest. It's either the largest or the second largest ethnic makeup of Americans is German heritage, German background.
So it really does wonder me why it's not a national language.
Yeah. I mean, they gave it a good fight, but the fight those world wars just really, really knocked it back big time. And that goes for German that was being spoken in the Midwest, where there were a lot of Germans, like in Wisconsin and Minnesota and the Dakotas, and even down into Texas, that whole Midwest area of the United States. There were a lot of Germans there that came over in the 1800s. But when those world wars came along, everything German was verboten. It was just, you didn't want to be, it was the language of the enemy. You didn't want to speak it. And people lashed out against it. Yeah. But we're going to keep doing what we do with Pennsylvania Dutch.
And keep speaking
because, we both speak English, and every person I know that speaks Pennsylvania Dutch nowadays also speaks English. We are bilingual people. It wasn't the case 5 generations ago for the majority of us, or 4 generations ago. Heck, for some of us, only 3 generations ago. But we've adapted, but we've also held on. We're stubborn people. That's all there is to it. And we don't want to give it up.
Even if there's down to one speaker, we'll still just be talking to ourselves in
That's
Dutch.
right. I speak to myself in Pennsylvania Dutch all the time.
He talks to himself a lot.
I do.
All
it seems to be the only person that listens. Anyway, that's... Markus, vielen Dank für die Frage. There's a little bit of German for you. You can probably Google, if more on the background of why German wasn't a national language, or how close it came, and percentages and all that. We don't know that stuff off the top of our head. But we appreciate your viewership, and anybody else that's watching from over in Deutschland. Vielen Dank. Und die Videos werden noch weiterkommen, wenn es soweit ist. Und für die Leute in Pennsylvania, die hier Pennsylvania Deutsch schwätzen, müssen auch, dass wir ganz verdammt stolz sein und sind auf unsere Kultur, auf unseren Muttersprache, und wir machen so weiter as es geht. And in English, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and if people don't like it, that's the way that it is.
Nope.
Keep those questions coming. It was a good question. It wasn't funny, but it was a good question. Not everything in life has to be funny. Yeah. You need a serious moment every once in a while.
Not too many of them, though.
No, not too
Keep
many.
It light.
Life's too short. Yeah.
Well, du hast gehört. You heard it from the Dutchman.
Du hast gehört. Yeah.
Until next time.
Macht's gut.
Hi, and welcome back to Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman. My name is Chris LaRose. This here is Douglas Maidenford, our resident Pennsylvania Dutchman. How are you, Douglas?
I'm doing one aboard. I just had some pickles.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're good stuff. All right, well, ready for a question, Douglas?
Fire away.
All right. Well, this question comes in from Caleb Cain of Cyberspace.
Okay.
Caleb Cain says, what do you guys think of GMOs in the internet and technology? Well, that's easy.
GMOs.
No.
Internet. Limited.
Technology.
We'll accept it, but we're going to be stubborn as
We're going to gripe
going.
about it.
We're going to gripe about it.
So, in short terms, we'll say internet, GMOs, and technology, just say no.
Just say no. Walk away. You'll be happier.
All right, well, you heard it from the Dutchman.
That's right. Keep those questions coming.
Macht's gut.
Macht's gut.
Why, if you have a question, why, now you have to email us at bustapa@yahoo.com.